Hey fam, it's Lex. Alright, today I want to talk about admitting when you're wrong. Nothing sucks more than admitting when you're wrong, but it is so vital, it's so important, and it's really necessary to develop trust in our relationships. Look, we all think we know until we realize we don't. That's just the truth of it. If anybody held me to what I said I knew, 10 years ago, I'd be screwed. Right? You probably would too. It's okay to admit when you're wrong. In fact, doubling down when you know you're wrong and trying to just push through with that thing you don't know, that's crazy, right? So we have to develop the capacity to have the humility we need in order to admit when we're wrong. It is never too late. It's never too late to admit when you're wrong and to apologize, okay? This being wrong in relationships that's not the part that is an issue. The part that's an issue is when we can't admit that we're wrong and move on. And when we're able to do that, our partners or our friends or our coworkers or whatever are able to trust us. They're able to trust that if we make a mistake, we're going to own up to it and we're going to move on. If we can't do that, then there's a fundamental grain of trust that's missing in that relationship. That hinders your ability to work with those people, to be in love with those people, to be in life with those people. That's going to cause a lot of friction for you most of all. Here's the other important thing. You can admit when you're wrong, but guess what? The person who's had to live with the impact of the consequences of your being wrong doesn't owe you a damn thing. So just because you can come and say, I admit I did something wrong, does not mean that the person on the other end immediately has to get over whatever the consequence has been. That's your price of admission, okay? You have to deal with that. They had to live with the impact. Now you have to deal with the consequence of them dealing with the impact. Does that make sense? So you can come to somebody and say, I'm sorry, I made this mistake, I did this thing, and you know what? They can still be angry, and that's okay. They have that right to do that. And we have to get over that righteous indignation like, well, I apologize, and I came to it, and I figured out I was wrong, and why didn't you forgive me, and why didn't you do this, that, or the other thing? That's just part of it. We make mistakes, okay? But the quicker that you can get over that concept of I'm right, and you can get to that place where you can admit that you're wrong and where you can correct, even if it's just a tiny little shift, you can correct those mistakes in your relationships, the better it's going to be and the better you're going to get at it. It's all about humility. It's all about admitting when you're wrong, and it's all about making it right, at least to the best of your ability. Okay? Go find somebody to apologize to. Okay.